of us people are waiting for their inheritance.
Just waiting for people to die. People that love
There were girls growing up that were like, oh yeah, I would date you if you cut your hair. There's no reason that a grown man over the age of 23 should be wearing a parka.
Okay.
This is a fact.
Welcome back to another episode of Hours from Midnight podcast. Myself, Manrov, and Randy. Randy, OnlyRandz in the building. What's up, bro?
OnlyRandz, I'm good, man. Thank you guys for having me. You know, I feel like this one's been a little bit of a long time coming.
Yeah, 100%.
yeah, straight up long time coming.
You know, I feel like we've been kind of like
talking,
you know, dancing around.
Yeah, dancing around for a bit. Yeah, I think it really locked itself in when I saw you at Parm's video shoot.
Yeah, I think that was the one that kind of, you know, brought it together, right?
Yeah, because then I met you and I was like, bro, Randy's cool as fuck.
Yeah, no, appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a much needed collab, bro. You're a hella interesting guy.
Yeah, no, thank you guys, man. Honestly, it's glad to be here. You know, it was a bit of a drive. You know, today's my 3-year dating anniversary.
No way.
Yo,
congrats, man.
And I'd rather be here.
Real man, bro. That's a real one.
That's freaking sick. Did you do something in the daytime?
We went for brunch today, and like, I don't know. Honestly, like, I didn't have like the best brunch date today. You know,
why not?
It was like pretty smoky hot.
Oh, bad.
Well, it's not really that. We were just kind of getting on each other's nerves. You know,
Yeah.
You know,
It does though,
the
bro.
excitement of, you know, dating. It's not like the same thing anymore.
Yeah.
And you know, we each have things that kind of irk each other, but you know, it's all good. Now
That's
I think it just becomes a thing.
That's a part of it, man. People think like it's always gonna be the honeymoon phase.
Absolutely, man.
Right?
And you know, that does last for probably about a year and a half. Like,
it's just like hyping shit up. Yeah.
And now, like, you know, like,
it's rose tinted glasses. But that's with everyone, bro. Everyone's got things like that.
Like, I was a single guy for a long time. Like,
like how long?
From like maybe like 20 all the way up until about 28.
That's sick, bro. You did your thing.
Yeah, and then, well, it's not as exciting as you think. There's a lot of...
Imagine throwing away... Yeah.
You know, a lot of like not, you know, like just like, it's not like, oh yeah, it checks all the time. No, nothing like that. You know, it was working, focused on other things. And then I met my girlfriend through writing my book, actually.
Really?
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, and she was a fan. Well, I don't even know if she was a fan, but she was just curious. And I was dropping off the first like 30, 40 copies of people like by hand. And she was one of them. And then, you know, I asked her out and I was like, she had the Baba Deep Singh picture hanging from her rear view. And I was like, okay.
She's the one. She's the one.
That's sick.
She gotta go.
bro locked it in, man.
Yeah. That's good though, man. That's sweet. Yeah,
that worked out since then, right? So who knows what the future holds? But it's going out.
You said you guys irk each other out, right? Obviously, not trying to get too personal, but like, what would you say is like something that you just like irks? What's an irk for you?
Well, I'll actually just give you an example today. Like, we're sitting there. You know, it takes 10, 15 minutes for the waitress to kind of come through and take your order.
Yeah,
I'm already ready. I'm usually like, fuck, I know what I want. I look at the menu, this and that, and she's like, I need a little bit more time. And I'm like, dude, like, there's like maybe like 8, 9 options for brunch. You can pick your thing, right? And she's like, oh, I don't know what I want yet. And like, she's just diddling away on her phone. I'm like, okay. Another 10 minutes goes by. She comes back. She's like, oh, I'm still not sure. I need to look at, you know, the website for pictures to see what I want.
Oh my god!
And now I'm pissed, right? Like before, like, you know,
it's like indecisiveness. Before you were chilling.
I'm hungry, you know, I'm a little bit irritable.
Big guy, man.
I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'm just ordering for you.
You know, and then that's it. Yeah.
I was like, I don't got time for this shit.
Some girls like that though, when you just be like, yo, this is what we're getting. You know?
I guess. So when she's like, oh, I was going to order something else. I was like, man, you took too long. And now you're pissing me off. I was a little bit more impatient than I should be.
Yeah, but it's okay. You're not a perfect guy either.
Brought things through today.
So it's stuff like that. And like, you know, I don't like wastefulness either.
Okay.
Or like leaving food on the plate.
She's a big sauce waster and like food on the plate.
Oh shit.
You know, so like that pisses me off too. Yeah. That little pet peeves of mine.
That's like actually how you grew up. That depends on how you grew up. Because if you were always getting smacked for leaving food on the plate, then it's gonna be your habit. Like, yo, I should eat all the food.
Absolutely. And like, I think like, at the same time, I'm not the easiest guy to deal with either, right? Like, I'm a little bit off the handle, and you know, I'm a difficult guy to deal with, and you know, she has patience for me, so I have patience for her. But like,
certain
I still don't mind airing it out. You know?
No, not at all. Okay.
On that topic though, what would you say is the healthiest way to like maintain a relationship like that though?
I think you gotta have the fights.
Okay.
Don't sweep them underneath the rug. Don't just be like, oh, like whatever, like try to like put it off and like maybe it'll fix itself, because I don't think anything fixes itself. You know, you shouldn't overreact right away. Maybe something pisses you off. You do it 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. If it's not improving, then like you could be okay. Now we're gonna have a ladai here.
Let's scrap it out. 3 times, yeah. Maybe not the first time. Yeah.
When we first started dating, it's had to have been. I guess we started dating in August. Yeah, well, it's August 20th, and this was Valentine's Day. So from there to February.
Oh, that's like you asked her out on Valentine's Day.
No. I asked her out August 20th.
Okay.
Oh,
And like our first Valentine's Day together. And like she had a bit of a bad habit of being late. You know, like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. And like,
man's annoying, bro.
it's pissing me off, right? But like first time I let it go, second time I let it go because I was still trying to get laid, right?
Yeah. 100%. 100%. Yeah. Straight. Just being honest. Yeah.
You know, so like I'm minding my manners, right?
Yeah.
And now like Valentine's Day come and you know, like it's the first one. So like I'm, you know, I got the dinner scheduled, you know, this, that, and the other.
Oh, shit. Going ham.
Yeah, 7:30.
Yeah.
We're set and like, she was supposed to come with me to work because I had to do a little bit of a service call for a client. But she was like, "Oh, I'm not going to be able to make it to your house by 5. Like, I'll just meet you at the restaurant later." And then like now I'm like, fuck, man, like this is like throwing everything off because I got to go to Vancouver, but like from there I got to go downtown, which is like it's sending me in opposite directions.
Yeah.
Like I have to go like all the way down Marine Drive one way, and then I gotta go downtown.
And you want that day to flow really well.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like.
So that time around comes through, and she's like, "Hey, like you know, my makeup's just not working out too well. I'm not even gonna make it for 7, right?"
Holy.
So now I'm fucking choked.
It's like a rowdy restaurant. It's like the type of restaurant where they care about the time a lot.
Well, I mean, it was like I think it was like fast casual type of thing.
Oh, okay.
It was someplace like downtown. It wasn't like too big of a deal.
And it was Valentine's Day, so obviously there's people there too. Right?
There was people there, so like I'm just kind of like, okay, you know what? I don't even care about eating that food. We can order something, not a big deal. But like today, I'm gonna do a little bit of lapa, physically. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my god, bro!
I'm joking.
Wild.
Yeah.
But then I'm calling my buddy. I'm like, bro, she's late again. And he's like, yeah, no, that's not gonna fly. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make her cry today.
Oh my god.
So I went home and like I was just like, yo, like listen, like this isn't the first time you've been late. You know, this keeps happening. I made these plans.
Did she have a valid reason? Like something.
She got late for some stuff, and like the reasons are never really too valid. Like people get late, it happens, but that's
not consistently, right?
It's poor time management skills, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And you know, she's significantly younger than me too, right? She's 24. I'm 32. So there's a big not a big, but there is a maturity gap.
Yeah, 100%.
I know girls do mature a little bit faster than guys. But there's a maturity gap. So like these are the type of things that I was like, yo, I'm just like not cool with this. Like, you know, figure it the fuck out, or you know, this is gonna continue being an issue.
Yeah.
So we had the fight.
Yeah.
You know, and she cried for a while.
Bro.
You know, like, and then I'm like, I don't even know what the hell you're crying about. Like, I was like, this is your
nothing
fault.
happened. Yeah.
So I'm like, you know, doing the whole thing. I'm like washing the pande, but like, you know, kind of like cursing under my breath and like glaring.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, man. I was like, you know, I was like, you're the one who's fucking late.
That's true.
Ask you to do one thing.
Yeah.
I set it all up.
Yeah. You just have to show up.
Yeah.
Literally.
Couldn't even do that.
Yeah. Anyways, so those are the type of things, right? And then like, I think that type of thing, if you can communicate that well, and that's the biggest issue for operating in general. We really don't communicate anything how we feel because we just want things to kind of resolve on their own.
Yeah, that's
and that
true.
could be business issues, family issues, you know, obviously relationship issues.
Operate for sure, but also like Western culture is so fake too.
Yeah,
everyone's always out here like, yo, have a good day. I'm having a good day.
Yeah.
Good. How are you? No one's ever really keeping it 100%.
Yeah,
it's pretty fake.
Absolutely.
It's like overall.
You know, I know there are girls out there who are like, oh my god, I can't believe anyone would date you. And I was like, fuck, like I think you guys want to date me.
It's like, what are you guys talking about, right?
And there's, you know, there's the Bunday always in our TikTok comments like, oh, you guys got no riz, you know, this and that. He gets it a little bit more.
Oh my god, he gets cooked.
He's wild. Yeah.
Actually, I want to ask you guys. And like, let me know if this is kind of pushing it a little bit too further.
Aye.
But do you guys have a little bit of an issue with E?
No, I don't.
No?
I don't have an issue with E.
I was like, I'll bring E on as well. And like, it was kind of passed over. Then me and him discussed it.
Yeah.
And he's like, like, I've tried to ask these guys to come on the pod before, and like, they're not really down. And like, issue might be the wrong word, because that's a bit of a strong word.
Yeah.
But it could just be like, sometimes you're not compatible with energies and things like that.
I think there's a couple of things behind it. One, I've never met him in person.
Okay.
So there's one loop there.
Yeah.
And another thing too is a lot of the stuff he says with what like he does on the podcast, I'm like, yo, bro, like that's you, right? That's who you are, right? And it's like you're comfortable in that environment. Whereas like for me, I don't know how I would do in that environment. I wouldn't want to come on a podcast where I'm not going to say anything, because then what the hell's the point of me doing it, right?
Yeah.
Like where I know like you're going to come on, your energy's good, right? Regardless, me and you can have a conversation that'll actually flow, because I've had a conversation with you prior to this, right? Whereas with E, I don't know, like if you would ask me something that's out of pocket, and then I'd just be sitting there like, I don't know how to respond to this. And then it's just be awkward. Right? You know what I mean? Especially with me being Amritari too, there's like a couple of things I just don't want to talk about.
Absolutely.
Just because it's just like, it's uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
I'm just like an animal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
Are you Amritari as well?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So, okay, now we can transition into this. Like, how do you guys feel about the hybrid Singhs like me?
Well, like the Singhs who don't always wear a pug?
Well, the pug part's not like the main thing, but like, because the podcast is just a little bit more practical, and like for work and stuff, like I wear a hard hat at work.
For you, that makes sense.
I guess
well, I mean, I should be wearing a pug. I'm older than you guys. Like, there's no excuse. If you guys can do it, I can do it. But guys who like myself, like I drink, I have tattoos, I cut my beard. Like, what's the coexistence? With us.
Here's the thing.
Because we're almost worse than one day, right?
I don't know, yo.
No.
It depends, right?
Man. You know what it is? We've brought this topic up before. And my thing is with it is this. I commend you for keeping your hair to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
Right? And I think your relationship with God comes down to your relationship with God. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Yeah.
Who am I to sit here and be like, bro, I'm going to judge you because you're not doing exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Right? Because that doesn't make any sense. Right? It's like, then I have animosity towards the whole world.
Yeah.
It's like, how many people are really sick in the world? We only make up we're like 5% of the world or something, like something so small. Right? So I can't sit here and be like, yo, this person's wrong. No, right? But if you're like, my thing is like this, like you're not Amritari, so what? You're not breaking any Mirada, you're not breaking any rules, right? So I'm cool with you doing what you do, right? As long as you don't try to put that on me. Then we can be civil, and I can respect, because my dad's not Amritari. Right?
Oh, your dad's not Amritari?
No, my dad's not Amritari, my mom's not Amritari.
So how'd you kind of come to...
My dadi dad are Amritari, and I was primarily raised by them.
Skip the gen.
Right?
Yeah.
So I just fell in love with Sikhi at a young age.
Okay,
right?
nice.
And then I just found it that it saved me a lot throughout high school as well, like being Amritari throughout high school.
Yeah, yo, it actually protects you wild.
It protects you a lot, because then the whole peer pressure influence thing, you're like, bro, I'm Amritari.
But at the end of the day, it depends on who you're around, bro. Because if you're Amritari, but then you don't spend time around other Sikhs, like other Amritari Sikhs, that you don't have like a community, you're gonna feel alone, and then other people are gonna start to influence you more. It's all just about like, yo, like say like for me, my parents were never into it back in the day. I was like 12 or 13 years old, and that's when I got really into it. I got Amrishak, and then my whole family did.
Oh wow!
So it was pretty nuts like that too. But for me, like I look back and it gave me so much grounding. Like in my life, I encounter so many people that have no purpose, but I've never felt like, yo, I don't have a purpose.
So were you Mona back in the day?
Yeah, hella Mona, bro. I look like Mexican and shit, bro. I was telling like this
guy was eating the junior chickens and everything, bro.
Yeah, dude. I was telling some of my friends last week, I was like, yeah, dude, like you guys got put into ESL because you guys looked more fob than me. Like I was a haircut back then, so I didn't even get put into ESL.
Thing is, your guys' generation as well, like it was a lot easier to be a Singh.
You know why? Why do you think so?
I think, just with the overall pop culture, like everything became more inclusive. Diversity is a lot more, on a higher pedestal, where like my generation grew up with a lot more self-hate. Really? It was a lot more like, maybe not so much in high school, because I think people get a little bit older and like a little bit more mature, but even prior to that, it was like a lot of like, you buy other up and it's like, oh, Genny this, Genny that.
Oh, yeah, Genny this,
that kind of shit, like it was very prevalent. And like even once I graduated high school, we were kind of like the tail end of it. Whereas like even like 2-3 years later, it started to become a lot easier and stuff.
I think I was the tail end of it. Like our generation was almost the tail end of it too.
Yeah.
The Genny stuff was still big in our day too.
Yeah.
But we had like enough of us that we were just like chilling.
Yeah.
And it wasn't as like hateful. Like you never get bullied for it. It also depends on what school you go to too.
Absolutely, right? I grew up in Richmond, but I did grow up in a predominantly brown area.
Oh, okay.
So
Richmond,
there were a couple other things, but like majority of my friends were Monet, and like you know, some of the guys were still like I don't know if self-hate's the right word either, but there still was like a little bit of like an other type of thing. And there were girls growing up that were like, oh yeah, I would date you if you cut your hair.
Yeah,
you know that.
I've had that happen.
I don't know if it happens.
I've had that happen too. Yeah,
that could easily happen nowadays too.
Yeah.
I think.
Where does that come from though? Like, I mean, how does that occur?
It just like
your dad or your uncle or your grandpa probably is the thing, but it's just like I don't want to deal with this.
You want to know what's wild?
Where does that come?
You guys want to know? I'll tell you something wild. I had a conversation with someone, right? And this was it was a conversation between it was just like a mutual that I knew during university or whatever, and they were telling me a story about how like a Singh asked them out, and then she was like, "Oh, I can't do it. He's a Singh."
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, right? And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, bro, her dad's Amritari.
Yeah. Wow.
Her dad is Amrishak, and she's saying this. So then I'm just like,
Yeah,
bro, like
wild.
I'm like, bro, what?
Why man's like that?
And then I asked her, I was like, why do you think like that?
Yeah.
And her response simply, I don't like it. That's all she said. I don't like it. I don't like what it said. I don't like that it was forced on me when I was a kid so much. Now I've grown to hate it.
Interesting.
Which I can understand.
Yeah.
But it's still still confusing.
Yeah, it is confusing. It's like such a presumption.
Yeah.
Because nowadays there's so many things. There's like different, like you can't really just see someone sing and be like, this guy's like this. There's different ones. There's like ones that are like all about Muriada. There's ones that are like kind of chill. 100%. There's ones that just like, you know, like.
As I've continued to age, I'm definitely becoming more and more in line with Sikhi.
Yeah.
Like I still, trust me, I got a lot of work left to do on myself.
Yeah.
But like, you know, like growing up high school, like, you know, I was like chin strapped out and stuff.
Oh, like fully chin strapped out. That's that'd be sick, yo, to see pictures of you chin strapped out and shit.
Yeah.
Randy, I'll send them out.
Randy, on the clips, bro. One thing I'll tell you is you have a sick high school name. Like, yo, my buddy Randy. Like, yo, Randy and shit.
Randy,
it's like sick to have a buddy named Randy, bro.
And yeah, so like I went from that to like, you know, of course, learning more about the culture. I grew up in Khalsa school.
Yeah.
So I think that was probably a bit of the reason I kind of pulled away from my culture as well. Because over there it's strict and like, you get to high school and you're like, holy fuck.
It's like the classic Uno reverse.
Yeah.
It's like instead of teaching kids why to believe something, you're just like, yo, believe it.
Yeah, 100%.
Like it'd be so much nicer if they attacked it from that other angle where they're like, yo, this is the alternative.
Yeah.
Like this is what could happen. Instead of just like do this.
Yeah.
And then you're always curious. Like all my friends who were over there, they ended up so curious. And then when they had freedom, that's it.
Oh yeah, man. Some of the girls I went to college school with, like, you know, as soon as they got out of there,
oh man,
they're hacking butts.
Yeah.
You know, they used to wear the Malay and, you know, the gold bugs and, you know, now they have the blonde hair, they're hacking butts.
That's nuts, right?
Getting teenage pregnancies. Like,
that's just crazy though.
Shit
100%.
You'd be surprised. You'd be like, yo, like we put you, like the parents, like we put you in this establishment, Khalsa school, to like, so you don't end up like this. But you're doing
to learn about your culture, right?
Dude, I don't care, man. Khalsa school, like I'm gonna be honest, there has to be a statistic.
How many percent of kids do you guys think ballpark from Khalsa school actually end up Khalsa, bro? Like
probably
end up
like very few.
I'd say 30 out of 30%.
Very few.
30%, yeah.
I think
30.
like, you know, like looking back on it, like I hated it while I was there. Because like, you know, you're wearing the uniform and you're doing that. Did you guys go to college school?
I didn't.
We didn't know, but we went to uniform high school though still.
Yeah. And like, you know, just like the strictness and there was just like a lot of like judgment. Like we used to look at other Monde in our grade and it would be like, oh, like these guys are fucked. You know, like, so there's this like, there's a self thing that's there. Right? And then, you know, the teachers are extremely strict. But looking back on it now, of course, like being in construction and building and things like that, knowing Punjabi has been extremely beneficial.
Yeah, 100%.
You know,
man.
Because like,
especially here.
Like,
especially here.
Yeah.
And that kind of helped me. And like overall, like having like a basic understanding of the culture has been extremely beneficial.
Yeah,
right?
It's pretty sick, bro.
Yeah.
If you think about it, I think the reason that so many of us have had so much success here too is because of like our culture from back home.
100%.
Those like core values, you know, like like just grind it out and stuff.
Work hard.
It all comes down to the values, bro.
Yeah.
Even though our country ended up like a little in the gutter and shit because of like a variety of factors, we came here. We had mad success.
Absolutely, sick people can literally go anywhere all across the world and like give them a few years, like one generation at a time, and like you know, you own property and you know you do this, you do that, and like you're well established.
Yeah, you're well
Yeah,
established. Yeah, right? Exactly.
Whereas Gore lived out here, and they really pissed it all away, right? And this is about to happen with the second, third generation of even Apne or Chine, or
people are gonna piss it away.
I think people are gonna piss it away. It's happening right in front of us right now.
Yeah,
people are living way beyond their means.
100%.
People got money. Don't get me wrong. Like people have a lot of paper out there, but like the way that they're spending and like, you know, I'm not saying that I'm above it either. Like, you know, I come from a decent family, like so it's afforded me certain luxuries, and like maybe I spend my money, or I have spent my money in the past a little bit more recklessly than I should have. But now, like, you're seeing, like, even, like, 21-year-old kids who got, like, you know, Rolexes, and that's the first thing they do after buying, like, or after they sell a couple of real estate deals.
Where do they get the money from?
Well, real estate deals? Yeah, you do a couple of real estate deals.
Get those 20K checks and shit.
Yeah, it's a decent checks, and first thing, oh, this is going to get me more business. And I'm not hating on you. Like if I had the paper,
it's like all 20 of the 20Ks on a Rolex, right? But then it's like, I don't know, if you're 21 and you're going to sell, like, predicted 4 or 5 houses that year, you spend one of them on a watch. It's kind of dumb no matter how you frame it.
It is stupid, but again, like, maybe if I was at that age and I had it like that, then maybe I would have done that too.
I have a theory on this. I think it's social media that's corrupting these kids.
Of course.
And I know it's such a common thing to say, but like I think also just like the perception that people put out of like this luxury lifestyle, the online business, like, you know, or like sell this.
Well, when you're actually making paper, those things there's nothing inherently wrong with them.
Yeah.
If you're making a shit ton of money, you may as well like treat yourself.
But people are making enough money to look more successful than they are.
Yeah.
And like I said, I no judgment here. Like I've done that myself, and like there are still things that I am doing like that myself, but it's just like there has to be something to give, like, because people are doing nashe faster now.
Yep.
They're drinking a lot more, and like their whole thing of saving and putting stuff away.
Oh, that's fast.
And like, you know,
the
like,
clubbing shit's wild.
Yeah, and to try to actually like put stuff towards a property instead of just waiting for their inheritance.
Yeah.
Dude, and I think a lot of those people are waiting for their inheritance.
That's just waiting for people to die. People that love you, like you love them. They're just waiting for them to die, right? It's so crazy, bro.
You know, my dad's gonna leave me 3 houses. I'm set.
And then you're gonna blow it all in 10 years and then be back in the gutter, bro.
Up mentality, man.
Yeah.
It's like
it's happening. It's happening.
My thing is this, you know, I'm gonna just say how it is to all the kids that are watching that have the luxury of sitting at home, not paying rent, not paying no grocery, nothing. Use this time, stack your money, right? And buy yourself a property. So when you inherit it, eventually you'll have more.
Yeah,
and then
you gotta dream big.
You gotta dream big, man. Like you should be able to be like, yo, like my dad put in the work, my mom put in the work. I have this.
Team up with them.
Team up with them. Go buy more houses with them.
It'd be nice if like before they got like really old too, they knew like their kid was not gonna like blow all this shit away the minute they died, because like a lot of parents, the thing is just depresses them in their last years that like, yo,
this kid's just gonna fucking squat.
Yeah, as soon as I go.
People do like smarten up as they age, and trust me, man. Like I was reckless too, so like.
What's the most reckless thing you ever bought?
Oh yeah, let's
get off your head,
man. I'll tell you what it was. For me. It was actually
no, the chain around his neck. Chain wasn't that reckless, you know, like because like. I had a different one and I sold that and then I leveled up, so it was
that's okay.
It was slow grind. I mean,
yeah.
Most reckless thing I've bought, like, I don't know. I've bought some stupid shit over the years, but
okay. Like I see your backpack. Let's bring the backpack in the frame right now and let's guess how much this shit costs, bro.
Guess.
Yeah. Well, let's guess. What are you saying? I'm saying 5,500.
No.
1,500.
This backpack was 1,500, but I got it on sale.
Yeah,
I'm him.
It was about like $1,000, like from the MCM website. But that backpack's lasted me about 6 years. You know, you keep the quality, so
it's real leather and shit, right?
Yeah,
that quality
absolutely.
stuff.
So would you say like designer is probably your worst?
Yeah, I had a little bit of a shonk buying kapade and stuff, and like. You know, you buy the nice clothes and you think you'll wear them a lot, but like you might end up wearing those items like 2-3 times a year.
Yeah,
because otherwise you just look like a fucking idiot.
This fucker right here, man. This fucker always does that shit.
Yeah.
He buys a Montclair.
Yeah.
Sits in the closet.
Yeah.
Like the fucking spiders in there are like enjoying it more than this guy.
That's exactly it. You bought a Montclair jacket?
I bought a Montclair jacket. I've worn it maybe 4 times.
Exactly it. Because you can't just wear it to like wherever.
You wear it every day, then it's kind of whack too.
Yeah.
It's nice like once a week. Bro, I don't know.
It's bad. That and shoes. shoes, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm such a big sneakerhead.
Yeah.
I was a way bigger sneakerhead when I first got
anymore.
because I got a job at Foot Locker
Yeah,
back in grade 12. This is how they set you up for failure, bro. I'm telling you, you get a job there and you just see all the releases. You're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I get all
I need
stuff,
those. I need
right?
those.
I need those, right? And then you start getting into stuff that's exclusive, like
Yeah.
the Off-Whites,
Yeah.
right? Like the Dior's and stuff. And you're just like, holy.
Yeah.
And then you just think you're fucking him.
Yeah.
You just start buying all this
Yeah, I
shit.
guess so.
I was the same way.
Yeah.
Like, I toned it down big time.
But dude, like
same.
even you can be a sneakerhead, or I feel like me and you, the one way we probably relate is that we're just Birkenstock type of guys too. I'm more of a like Birkenstock and
Yeah.
chill. I have some nice shoes too, for like bottom that down up. But like 99% of the time, I'm like, bro, I just
Yeah,
want to be that
chop
dude. Birkenstocks, just chilling, like the ancestors and shit. In the fucking chop
The worst part about this whole shoe thing, though, too, right, is the fact that I don't even wear them.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the worst thing
just
about
sit
it.
there.
Where are you
decaying.
gonna wear this stuff?
You know what I wear? I wear basic ass Nike runners to
Yeah.
like the gym just because I'm like, yo, I'm not like
Yeah.
just gonna wear these to my training shoes,
Yeah.
or I'll wear like just some dunks here and there.
Yeah, 100%.
Man, some like 13-year-old kid could have had those shoes and worn them every day, like deep. But your fat ass
Yeah.
bought them before and they sold them out, man. Some kid could have been like, that could have been their pride and joy,
Yeah.
bro. They're just rotting away in your closet now.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, man.
It happens.
It happens, man. It happens to the best.
Yeah,
of
it's all
us.
good.
Treat
Just playing.
treat yourself once in a while too, but
Yeah.
it is
It's so
always better to just
variable.
relax a little bit, right? I spent many of my years partying and I still party. Like, right now I am training for the fight, so like I'm maintaining
sick.
sobriety
Yeah.
for up until like for the next, I guess, 5-6 weeks. But
Holy. So what do you slam in your first day after the 6 weeks, bro?
well,
Go straight to the bar.
But the depression and like of course, like I hope you guys never go the other way and start drinking. But the depression
Oh, yeah,
after a
never.
hard night of boozing, it puts you in like really dark spots.
So
Like,
I can't relate to that.
Yeah.
But like I could see it happening for sure. That should be crazy because you wake up, you check your bank account too.
Yeah.
God,
It just
it
makes
is
you lucky though,
really-
because it's a poison at the end of the day.
It's
right?
a big desi poison though. Maybe
Yeah.
almost I feel like I felt like there was more alcoholic dads when we were kids than now, but it's still a big desi
Yeah.
thing. It's just slamming, bro.
It seems like there is a little bit more like education around it where people are kind of getting away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like now, like okay, like I'm not saying this is part of my life, but just like in general pop culture, less and less people are smoking cigarettes now. They're turning to the vapes.
Yeah.
And like alcohol is a big thing where people are kind of like getting away from as well. There's less and less people are like trying to drink. Like sobriety is being held on a slightly better pedestal, and it will take years, but I think people will eventually come around.
Yeah. I know you.
Optimistic guy, man.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to touch on that you mentioned earlier is you were talking about a book, right? So I'm gonna be honest, it's my first time even hearing about this book. So
Okay.
do you want to dive into this? Like, what made you want to write a book, and what was it about?
So I think it comes down to a lot of the stuff I'm doing, like, and anything I do creative. Like I really feel like, you got one like sounds so corny I'm about to say this, but you got one life to live and like just like do some things. Like, like you want to write a book, you want to, I'm talking for myself, you want to go do a fight, you want to go skydiving, you want to do X, Y, and Z, start a podcast.
Yeah.
Do it, right? You don't have time to fucking really waste, right? Because there is a day coming where your priorities aren't really going to be at the forefront.
Yeah,
You're going to have
100%.
kids one day, you're going to be married
shit's
one day.
crazy, dude.
You're going to have responsibilities.
That scares
And
the
like
shit.
you might be able to still like take part in creative endeavors, but like
Yeah.
you might not have as much time to
Yeah.
put towards them because your priorities aren't yours anymore.
Holy,
So-
that's insane,
So
bro.
while you have that time, like fucking go.
Randy, man,
And
you're scaring me, bro.
this is facts, man. And it dawns on me too. You guys are 22.
Yeah.
I'm 32 now. So like the walls have begun to close
Of
in.
life, yeah.
It's coming, right? All this shit's coming. Marriage, kids, all that stuff's happening now.
Oh man.
And like mortality is starting to set in. Not like
Yeah.
of like me dying, but like just like how much time I actually have left to just be open and free.
Yeah, be yourself. Your body's
Yeah.
able to do the shit you want to do as well.
When I wrote the book, I was actually seeing this girl, and like she told me she'd like wanted to write like a poetry book or something, and like
Oh,
I
okay.
kind of
Group ago.
always wanted to do that as well, right? And like we had like a few good dates, and then like we had a few bad ones. She wasn't really down at that time, and I was like, you know what? Fuck her. I'm gonna write this book.
That's good though. And honestly, mate, that's the best way to go. It'd be better if you wrote that shit in the honeymoon phase, and then no, that'd be worse if you wrote that shit when you guys
Yeah.
were good and you guys broke up.
So like that was like I guess I might have been like 28 or 27. I can't remember exactly how old I was. But I wrote a book basically of all my relationships and escapades with girls and like, my partying, and I condensed it into this one thing.
What was the
And
purpose?
The purpose, it was kind
you.
of like I guess it like, I don't know. It was like, it was poetry for guys. You know, it was about like, you know, like slamming broads and, you know, like having like rough nights at the club. Like there's this one in there like where I was like 19, going to Granville Street, going to the club, not getting any girls, almost getting a girl, then going next door for like a bite, going back into the club, and then having a shitty night while all my friends were having a good time, right?
That's pretty sick, yo. You talk about that shit.
And there was like, you know, just like a bunch of things like that where like, it's kind of bleak, but there's like a comedic element to it, and like it kind of comes full circle. I don't know. That's one of the things I'm the most proud of, like in terms of my creative endeavors, because like even though it didn't blow up like crazy, I did end up selling about like 700-800 copies, which is good for me.
That's actually insane, bro.
Which is good for me.
That's insane, yeah.
But like I feel like I really did something cool there,
bro. That's crazy though, yo. You're actually OG then.
Yeah,
you got the book, that podcast, and now you got the podcast.
For a while, man.
That's nuts. You think you'll be doing this till the end?
We'll be doing something.
In the game till the end?
I need to, man. Like, I really feel like I need to. Life gets bleak when I'm in between projects.
When you're just doing...
When I'm just working.
Yeah.
Just living, right?
Yeah.
Day to day.
It gets pretty bleak. I feel like I'm not really doing something.
I just like connecting with people like that.
Man, that's just rough though, because some people do live that life where there's nothing wrong with it, like just a 9 to 5 every single day.
But that's fine, bro. Because think about it. You need people to do that too. I remember someone saying like there's only like a certain type of person. This is going to be kind of wild, but it's like based on like what you've done in the past, like past, right? That like people will feel like they need that purpose. Yeah. Some people will be completely happy to working at fucking McDonald's. Like I got my coffee the other day. The dude's like, I worked here for 40 years, man. Have a good day. Yeah. I was like, that's sick. Like,
I don't know. Like, I mean, if they're happy, then that's awesome. But like at the same time, I know guys who are even like my homies of my age and like older friends, like, they just haven't done anything. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. They just like, and like you can see it in their voice, like they're not happy.
Yeah.
They're just like kind of like, oh,
they're looking deep into them. Yeah, there's no substance.
Yeah, like they're just kind of like, they sat around for like 10, 15 years after high school. They worked and stuff. Yeah, they did, you know, certain things, but they're just kind of like, oh yeah, no, not bad. Just
end up at banks and stuff. Like good jobs too, good 9 to 5s. But then you talk to them and they're just like that inherent thing of like, fuck bro, this guy's like still in high school and shit.
They didn't do anything. Like they kind of wasted years. Like they didn't travel. They didn't fucking, you know, work on anything that kind of like
settled.
That youth is priceless. You would do anything to go back 10 years from now to this day, right? But like obviously you can't. So what's the point of talking about that shit? Yeah. But it's like enjoy these moments.
Yeah,
that's what I learned. Man.
I would say like even people that you probably know making even like good money, right, are probably still like you're like they're depressed.
Well, they're not doing anything, right? And like if you're just going to work and just coming home, like and watching Netflix or something, if you're content doing that, awesome. But like if like, you know, you're like eating like shit and you're not really working out, or you don't have something to look forward to, and you're just marking time, because time goes by.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about time going by, bro. Yeah. You'll be fucking old and dead in a while.
And like, you guys aren't really understanding this yet either.
No, I do.
But the older you get, 1 year becomes less of a percentage of your life.
Yeah.
So it flies by like this.
Yeah.
You know, because like when you're 10, 1 year is 10% of your life. Now I'm 30. 1 year is like 3% of my life.
Yeah, things fly
by.
by.
And it's just like it's going, and so the older you're getting, it's becoming less and less significant, and you don't even realize how things like start to like, holy shit.
I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that money doesn't solve a lot of issues. It
does. Of course it does.
Right? Money helps people live.
Okay, if you can have money and then also be in a good spiritual headspace, bro, you're fucking set. There's no one who's better off in life than you.
Yeah.
Right?
But then like a lot of people that you know, it's just like they have money, but they just have like so many issues.
Because you did the shit to get there, bro. Sometimes to get the money, you have to bring yourself to the lower level in life.
Yeah, well, sacrificing, even if you didn't have to be greasy, like you had to sacrifice time away from your family,
with your people,
from your friends, and like, you know, you're in these situations where you're grinding, and now your health is deteriorated. Yeah. You know, you're lacking sleep, you have anxiety all the time. Yeah.
That's just crazy.
Maybe you got a few extra properties or like a few extra zeros, your car's a little bit nicer, but
it's like,
you know, really your beard's out.
Yeah.
Even if you had a six-pack, are you still really happy though? Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, I think health is one of those things when the endorphins are running, you definitely feel better.
Yeah.
100% better.
So you feel like way better. Like, I mean, there's been certain times I've let myself go, and like once you get back into training, you do feel a lot better. But balance, right?
Yeah, balance.
If it's the only thing you have, if you're just training and you're just looking to get the pump, and now it's like it becomes part of your life so much that if you start to let yourself go and that was all you had, now you're cornered as well, right?
Yeah,
So
no,
that's what it is.
It's like I feel like working out should always be in the perspective of like, yo, let's be better than yesterday. And this is one of those things where you're like, bro, I'm way better than yesterday. That shit hypes me up.
Yeah, 100%.
It keeps me going.
Because some people's personality ends up becoming like their six pack.
I think that's exactly it. Now it's everything. Like every single day, you're just talking about like, oh, macros, this, and
fuck
diet,
that shit,
that, and blah blah blah. Balance, right?
Yeah, I just like how like, yo, I couldn't do pull-ups before. Started doing it every day. Yeah. Now I can do like 10. Like good for me, right? Like I'm at least fucking getting somewhere in this one part of my life.
Yeah. 100%.
But I feel like so many problems nowadays that people have are just like symptoms of like one root problem.
Yeah.
Which is just like, you know, like anxiety, depression, and all this shit we're seeing now. It's all just symptoms like one root problem, which is just like, yo, like your purpose. Like what are you doing with your life? Like, are you happy with what you're doing?
It's, you know, that's kind of corny as well. Like when we always talk about purpose and this and that. Oh, this is my purpose.
That's true.
And like you got to find a job that fulfills your purpose. Like I think all of us would agree, anyone who does something creative, like we would love to be paid for this forever, right?
100%.
You know, but there does come a time, like, and maybe people who have already made it, where you reach this point, FouseyTube, for example.
Yeah.
You know, if you guys have been following the saga.
Yeah, fuck FouseyTube. I don't like that guy. He gives me weird vibes.
I met him in Vegas.
You met him the other week.
Yeah, very weird guy.
Now he's
But I think he is going through some mental issues, so like...
He's been going through... Bro, I was in grade 5 watching this fucker on my iPod Touch, and this guy was going through mental issues. Like posting videos of him crying and shit. And like, I feel for him, right? But it's like, it's crazy how he's still such a prominent role model for people.
But that's what I mean. So like you reach like the fame and you reach that height, and then like things start to slip away from you, and like that was your identity, and now you can't go back to being a normal person either.
Yeah, he probably feels like shit.
Yeah,
you know like, what am I doing? Working out like
so like the fun of it gets taken away from you when it has to be your bread and butter, when it has to be your career.
You mentioned earlier you had a fight.
Yes.
Who are you fighting?
There's a guy from Abbotsford. His name's he actually trains under Austin Batra. Rizwan Qureshi.
I don't know who that is, but I know who Austin is.
Yeah, Austin. Yeah, I do too. I know Austin too. Like, I mean, we've kind of known each other for a little bit, and then like, you know, recently, you know, we've been talking a little bit more about the thing. Yeah. Gultar is the one who's holding the thing. That's Gultar Mamba. It's Mamba Fight League, September 29th. This is again just like I've done a couple of tournaments before, but this will be like my first kind of like real quote unquote
That's sick.
fight.
Yo, can I come see it? Can we come see it?
Yeah, absolutely.
I would like to see a fight. I've never seen one in person.
Really, you haven't?
The events are great. Honestly, there's a lot of great guys on the card. I'm training out of Bisla MMA. Nice. That's in Surrey over there, and like those guys are like a lot of those guys are beasts. Like they could kick the shit out of me, and like, you know, I'm kind of doing this like influencer type of fight.
You think so?
Well,
is the other guy?
Well, the other guy's not really an influencer. He's just a guy that trains.
Yeah.
And I had reached out to Gultar, and he was kind of a fan of like the TikToks and everything that I did. And I was like, yo, I want to do this. And he's like, okay. He's like, make sure you start training. And yeah, man, I don't know. Like I'm feeling every single time I go training, I feel more and more confident. Like I'm definitely looking to fuck this guy up. There is anxiety about, you know, your buddies are gonna be there, and like it's a big
we're all gonna
moment.
be there. Yeah, that's the thing.
You know, but that's the thing, right? You're kind of there's anxiety about that. But
you think it hypes you up, or you think it hypes you up to fucking like kick the guy's ass or whatever? Like
I think, you know what, man? I think it's supposed to be a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah.
If you're completely calm, then maybe that's not the right headspace.
Yeah,
either.
not at all, right?
Yeah.
Eating pizzas and shit.
Yeah.
You should be a little bit
So
tripping.
I'm training hard, and I think it's overall adding some good discipline to me.
Yeah, you can tell you're ripped right now.
Well, not really.
Pretty
It's a
good.
little arms are looking good.
Yeah.
Grouse grinds this weekend. You know, I'm kind of messing with the guys. I'm kind of like showing that I'm partying.
Oh, that's good.
You know, to like be like let him take the foot off the gas.
No, that's actually very smart.
But you know,
they're watching.
I've been training, and yeah, man, like I want to send a shout out to Gultar.
Yep.
You know, he made another dream of mine come true, and like people are like, why the fuck are you even doing this? I'm like, comes back to like you only have so much time. So guys, I actually wanted to talk to you about like a pretty interesting topic here. Like, what's your opinion about cancel Singhs?
Cancel Singhs?
Cancel Singhs.
What's good? Like, what do you mean?
Some
guy who's like, yo, I'm gonna cancel you because your bug's not around enough or something. Like, I'm gonna cancel you because like
the cancel Singhs are the people who, they are, I guess, extremely.
Or by the books?
Yeah, they're kind of by the books, and E and I get a lot of hate for some of the stuff that we post on our thing. Well, rightfully so. Honestly, sometimes we are a little bit off the cuff.
I would advise you not to read into it so much too, because it uses your bandwidth. Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff is kind of for comedic purposes, and it just they're jokes
that
let him talk, have been publicized.
Right? Yeah.
And now the cancel things are the type of guys that come out and be like,
comedy.
Fuck this, delete this right now, and they try to build this thing around it. I'll give you guys an example here, and
I know what you mean.
And okay, this was one I did this TikTok here, right? Yeah. Where I use the word, I'm disturbing things you see at the Gurdwara. And that was probably my first mistake right there, because I used the word disturbing, and I said eating prasad, and then when the tail is there, I kind of did an over dramatization of putting it in the beard and all that kind of stuff. Now, one thing I didn't realize at that moment was how strong people would actually feel about that certain thing. Yeah.
I thought people wouldn't care too, bro. You tell me that, I'll probably laugh. Yeah. And I'll think that kids who don't go to the Gurdwara, this will make them laugh and think about the freaking Gurdwara.
I was going to have a whole series on this, because I was going to, add in the sardiyan hoiyan chappala in the bathroom.
Oh, and
the baba doing his nala all over. I was gonna have a whole thing, but I got so much backlash on that, and people delete this shit right now, and I kind of almost had to take a stance where I didn't delete it.
Yeah, you had to.
I was fuck, because then they're gonna police you, right?
Man,
so I took the fucking heat,
the creative control,
and it was fairly unpleasant for a few days, man.
Dude, the heat gets all of us one day, though. At the end of the day, it's a cost, right? But you just gotta pay and no mind.
Absolutely.
I'm real with you. We have someone who runs our accounts, because I like to do this podcast how we want to do it. And I bro, if you comment love on our podcast, you DM us, I love you so much. But I'm not really gonna read them and reply to them. For most people, it's we
do get the hate comments, and that's the thing. I feel when people are trying to be oh, you shouldn't do this, that, and the other.
It's also inherently our culture to be yo, rand they, bro, what the fuck you talking about? But that's also because I feel we have a lot of kids who just lay at home while their parents do the 9 to 5s and shit, right? But it's you can't hate on them either. They're running up reviews. They're interacting with your videos, right?
Absolutely.
As long as it's not at the point where it's bothering you, bro. I'll say do what you want.
Honestly, I'm getting a little bit better about it. I don't mind if someone's just oh, fuck this voodoo, or this and that.
No, bro, because you're a character. You're a figment of their. They don't know you. They don't know your life. You're in their imagination.
Yeah, I can't stand when people try to twist the narrative, though.
Like what?
So,
give me an example.
So I'll give you an example. So we had this one post up where I said the word genia, and
nice.
Which is fine. I mean, that's just Chinese people. Who knows what they call us, right? But this person in our comment section tried to be oh, why'd you say genia? That's racist. Then they started tagging Asian accounts from Vancouver to try to get on us and make this thing
the N-word. It's how you would call another race in your race.
You're just talking about is gore a racist word?
It's an internal word.
Chinese people.
Yeah, it's
saying Kali, that's black people. Saying Apane, that's brown people.
It's bro, it's literally Gine is the Chinese men and women.
Yeah,
but it's not a negative word.
It's not a negative word. Yeah. But this person tried to tag these Asian accounts to make it into this race.
They wouldn't even know what the fuck's going on. Yeah, they would be what, they're just.
But that kind of shit I can't fucking stand. Right? And that I'll clap back heavy and certain.
What will you do?
I just clap back hard and be fuck you, I've even dropped times let's meet up.
Oh, okay. You're a pretty rowdy guy, right?
Yeah, bro, I can't be rowdy.
One time, okay, so back to the Prashad one.
Yeah.
With the tail and everything. I actually had these guys because a lot of the students actually got on my ass about that one, right? And people were fuck this guy, we're gonna shit kick him, this, that, and the other. I was okay, they can't get right?
Yeah.
And I was in which Gurdwara was I at?
In Surrey?
It was in Surrey.
We'll just say Surrey Gurdwara.
Okay, it was a Surrey Gurdwara. There was a plaza there. I can't remember exactly which one it was. But these two guys standing there, right? And this is a fresh video. It just came out. I had to go drop off some files at some engineer's office, right?
Yeah.
I see these two guys staring at me. And they're staring at me and I'm okay, whatever. Maybe they recognize me from TikTok or something, right? I come back out and the guy's hey, he's did you make that video? And he tried to almost press me a little bit. It wasn't coming at me too friendly. And I turned on the angry mode. I was yeah, I did make the video. I was what's up? And like, oh no, bro, like, we're just thinking like, you shouldn't make videos like that. It's disrespectful. I was like, I don't think it's disrespectful. I was like, I used the wrong word in disturbing. I can understand that. But, I was just making like a lighthearted thing about that. He's like, oh no, these things have value and stuff, which I can respect. Okay. But that two guys tried to fucking press me like that. And if I had kind of like, I felt like if I had bitched out in that moment, that word would spread that, oh, this guy's pussying out and stuff. And
or
like,
they
and
would
like,
just start
now you can
you.
press this guy in public, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't really, I had to kind of take a stand there.
Yeah.
That's the thing with topics I get too dissy too. Is that like sometimes people cling on to them like it's like a deeply personal attack. When in reality, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. If there's kids that watch you that don't really go to the Gurdwara and they laugh at that, and the next time they're at the Gurdwara they laugh at that, that's not a bad thing at all, bro. It's like, it's not like you're saying something about Barney or something or Gurus did. It's literally just like,
absolutely not.
It's not like you're making fun of like the Gurdwara itself.
That's wild though.
You're just making a joke out of like, realistically, like, does this?
I laugh at that in my head.
Yeah,
too.
I do too. I'm like, because I'll see Bob Bay just like rubbing tail on.
It's like natural beard oil.
Yeah, right. And I'm just like, cool, right? Like, whatever.
Yeah,
but you can't live your life like trying to please everyone.
Yeah, that's
there's like a warning where it's like at the end of the day, like make sure God is happy with you, God loves you. Everything else, like he'll take care of you. You don't have to worry about every individual guy, man.
Well, we judge. It's that old adage that we judge ourselves based on our intention. We judge others on their action. You know what I mean? And then you're like, oh, this guy's fucked up because he did X, Y, and Z. Like, how do you guys feel about? Have you been keeping up with what's going on in England right now? Where they're like canceling, weddings at golf courses and like outdoor weddings and things like that. No, dude,
that's crazy.
And like the interfaith marriages.
I've heard of that shit. I've seen that where people fucking walk in and they're like, I object. And they go canceling the shit.
So
turn off the lights.
I mean, the whole thing, I guess, like, I read into like the Anand Garage, like it's supposed to be between Sikh and Sikh. It's supposed to be done in the Gurdwara, all these traditions have value, right?
Yeah.
Whereas, I understand why outdoor weddings have become so popular. First and foremost,
you can't book a Gurdwara right now.
That's exactly it. Yeah. You can't book Gurdwara, so like people would be booked out for like 4 or 5 years in advance.
There's a lack of
Now there is an issue with alcohol being on the premise.
I hate that shit.
No, that shit's fucked.
That's fucked.
Yeah, that's
but
fucked.
It's happening. I mean, that's happening, and like,
we all know what's happening.
Those people will pay for it eventually, though. It's like Madhuri doesn't forget, right?
It's like, I mean, I guess there's like a certain thing where like, at what point, like I'm actually a strong believer in this. I don't think the bus should have alcohol in it as soon as you enter the Gurdwara parking lot. Yeah. If you're going to booze it, it's fine. Keep it outside the premise, right?
But that whole boozing thing has nothing to do with the tradition. You should have the traditional side of your marriage, and then if you want to fuck around, have that side of your marriage. Keep it separate as possible.
Is like the healthy median there, and Ian and I have talked about this, is a healthy median there to maybe not have the Guru Granth Sahib at the park. Maybe the husband and wife can do like a Gurdwara thing on like even a separate day. They do like a proper
even if you just do it somewhere totally separate.
And then like the outdoor wedding is more just for like the photo ops and like the kind of like the getting together.
That's more like a Christian wedding where you get married outside and then everybody gets fucking plastered after at the golf course. Yeah. Like these guys are stealing that stuff from there. Yeah. We're not supposed to be like that. You're supposed to have guys in the morning. It's so pure with it. Maybe like the next day at a totally different event, you do that type of shit.
Yeah. You know what it is? People, I said this before. People made like weddings so tailored towards social media of like I'm trying to one up everyone else. People won't do that.
Bro, you fucking like one wedding TikTok, like one wedding compilation TikTok. You like it? All my For You page is that shit. I don't even watch it anymore. It's like garbage, bro.
Dude, no other culture spends
the money
150 G's, 200 G's on a wedding, 100 grand on a wedding. The Gode don't do that. I think maybe Asian people do. Like they're having some pretty big
weddings. If you got it like that, you do you.
Yeah. But now, like, you can't, like, as an opera, even if you're just like a regular working class guy, like, you have to pull equity out of your house. You have to take a line of credit. You have to do this. Just
really,
just to keep up with the. Well, I mean, you know what I mean. Like, if
I'll give you like 2 good examples of my friends that got married in the last few years. Or is that like they rocked at this like Balanturi Sahib in India, this like nice Gurdwara. They had a good wedding there. They paid stuff in rupees. There was no financial pressure. And at the end of the day, they didn't none of my friends really drink too, so like, there's that thing. But they had like a nice like informal thing in like this langar building, and they got food catered there. And those guys probably were all in for like 20K Canadian because it's all Indian, right? And for those guys, they're so well off. But for people who drink and party, it's what you're talking about is totally true.
Randy, I want to ask you, What's been your most embarrassing date story?
Embarrassing date story. I mean, getting stood up.
Oh, yeah, that sucks, man.
Who would stand up this guy?
Who would stand up this fucking gentleman right here? Yeah?
I met this girl downtown once, and we were outside the club, and like it was kind of like one of those movie moments where like you meet a girl and you're like, wow, okay, like things are clicking. Like we had a great conversation at that time, exchanged numbers. And Chance the Rapper was actually coming into town.
Oh, I remember.
But this was a little bit earlier, so he was still playing at like the Vogue or something. Or
I listened to him back then. Yeah, not anymore. Back then.
And so like me and this girl had made plans to, go like the following thing. She texted me up until about like, I guess like 18 hours before the thing. It's like, oh yeah, I bought tickets. Like we're gonna meet up. The day of the thing, like so the night's passed, and now it's the following night. I text her. I didn't get a single message from her all day, and then like just never showed up.
Damn,
that's fucked, Randy.
And like I was already downtown. I'd gotten there earlier. I was like, I'm gonna be grooving a little bit. Like I was gonna go to the bar, have a couple of beers, whatever. So be prepared.
Yeah.
And now, like, I'm stuck here with 2 tickets.
Straight 0 to 0.
Yeah.
So did your boys clutch up, bro? Did they all pull up?
I had one buddy of mine. I was like, yo, man, this is like a friend check. Like, I need a solid, like,
solid guy come to fucking take you to go-karting or some shit. Like,
well, he came to the concert with me.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, that was it. And then, like, she gave me this sorry-ass excuse. Oh, sorry, I just got so tired. And, this and that. Like, plans were made. Tickets were bought.
That's insane, bro. If somebody did that to me, I would like forget of their existence. Like I wouldn't even get to the point of the explanation, bro. That's actually like you just feel like a fucking fuddu, bro. You're like, bro, like I'm a good guy. I'm a hira. Like I work hard. I'm not a fucking drug dealer, bro. Like this is too much.
Yeah. So,
bro, the whole texting thing really pisses me off too because people are like, I know you're on your phone.
Yeah,
18 hours is fucking bullshit, bro.
I know you're on bullshit.
Like, bro, it was done. Like I was like, yo, should I buy the tickets? It was like, yeah, buy the tickets. Yeah. And then it was just like, like who knows what happened.
How much were tickets?
I think they were like $40-$50 that time. It didn't like kill me or anything, but it's it's just the principle of it, right?
Yeah, the principle.
And I would say that's probably my most embarrassing one.
I've been meaning to ask you this one, right? It's just for you. Let's hear what's in your heart. What's your thoughts on Singhs that wear partke as adults? Your honest thoughts, bro. I don't care what you say.
Okay, honest thoughts.
Yeah.
Yes. Hit us.
There's no reason that a grown man over the age of 23 should be wearing a parka.
Okay.
This is a fact. There's no reason.
So funny
the reason that I wear a parka is practicality.
I want to know. Yeah.
Practicality. You know what I mean? It's just a little bit easier to wake up in the morning, slap on the parka, and
slap on it.
It gets it going. Now, like the parka went from the juda,
straight fucking contradiction,
to the durag, and I guess it became a little bit more palatable in the Western thing. Like now, like all of a sudden we were hybrids.
Like you wear like a fucking Blue Jays hat on top.
Yeah, well, I mean,
a trucker.
See, I can't stand the guys who wear like the hats on top of the
yeah, they go hand like a toque or something.
I don't agree with that. I'm not a big believer in ponytail Singhs either.
Ponytail Singhs are wild, bro. I've never seen any of those. I know people will do it though. They'll try to be like that, like Italian dude.
Yeah.
Like,
so I don't believe in that. Like I'm at least always wearing a parka. Like I feel that like when I go out like partying and stuff and I'm wearing the pag, like I get more love. Like for sure. Whereas like the parka, I think it's mostly just for practicality purposes, and that's kind of where I'll.
So there's no reason to, but there's a practicality reason.
There, as a banda, you shouldn't be. You really shouldn't be wearing a parka. You really shouldn't be. It's just for practicality purposes.
And shit, right?
I mean, again, I'm a pretty big guy. I look stupid. Yeah. I know.
No,
not actually, but like I mean, like I think like. You do need to be wearing the pag more and more often. It's just like sometimes it takes a little bit longer, right? Because like I don't wear the gold pag. I usually wear like the pag pag.
Yeah, I've seen you. You look handsome as fuck.
You need somebody to do the poonie with you, and like sometimes the door handle just doesn't cut it, right?
Yeah, so, that's crazy. That's that trick, bro.
That's a valid reason. Describe, all right, in 3 words, the dating scene in Surrey.
Dating scene in Surrey. 3 words.
Or dating scene in the Lower Mainland. 3 words.
Really fucked up.
Really fucked.
Okay, now I want you to elaborate. Why?
I don't feel like there's a lot of like actual genuineness with it, and like people are kind of like just very loosey goosey about the whole thing. Like cheating's at an all-time high.
Think so?
Oh,
I could make a Microsoft Excel graph for cheating. It'd be at an all-time high. Now's the time to buy in.
Man. Nobody gives a shit anymore. Like everyone is having their like own good time. Like there's so many trips I've been on. Like if you go to Vegas or Mexico,
and you just got back from Vegas, yeah.
And there's this group of opera that are there, and like 7-8 of them, and like you're telling me they're all. Single? They're all single? They're all fucking around.
Nah, no way.
But they're the same way. I'm not saying but they're any better. Like, I think...
Brown girls, they'll have a couple dudes if they're in their mid-20s and shit.
Of course. And, like, I am still a believer of this. Even if a girl is dating someone, there's always, like, a guy or two, like, lingering, in the background.
Like they circle the prey.
It's always just kind of like they might check in every, like, 5-6 months. Like, hey, how's it going? And, like, girls will humor this. Like, they won't... I would hope a majority of girls won't like actually like go full force and be like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna go out with this guy and like fuck him or anything. But they'll humor this. Well, they'll kind of just be like, oh yeah, I know things are good, no problem. Then the guy's like, oh, I wish you were with me instead. Blah blah blah. So like, oh my god, no. It's occurring, man. There's some flirtations happening.
Yeah,
I feel like if your girl's doing that, then it's already an automatic L. Like it's a red flag.
Bro, this guy's talking about 90% of girls.
And you gotta
90% of them are red flags.
You gotta understand that the accessibility to one another is extremely high, and it's higher than it's ever been.
Yeah.
It could be a like on a picture that like you haven't gotten from a certain guy or a certain girl. Like the certain girl likes my picture that like is not like a normal thing. That's like, oh, what the fuck's going on there?
What the fuck's going on here?
I'm faithful. I don't mess around.
Yeah, but still throws you off, right? Now and then, bro. Like every 2 months.
Did you go to Vegas? Like a week ago?
I had a good time in Vegas.
Yeah,
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas?
No, not really.
Yeah.
There's nothing too exciting, man. We tried. Don't get me wrong.
Were you up at the casino? These fucking jokes, bro.
You just got rejected though,
No, Randy's a little
Randy
is a little
But yeah, I mean, I think there's just like really no sanctity, and like it could happen to anyone. You hope it's not out of sight, out of mind.
All right, bro. So you grew up in Richmond your whole life. You still live there. What's your thoughts on Richmond drivers?
Richmond drivers, I mean, fucking makes you a shittier driver. Really? It's made me a shittier driver. Now, like, people are doing just wild stuff all day, and like I've really had to hone down my road rage just because of like stupidity. But like, you see some wild stuff, man. People are like in the third lane coming towards you, trying to take a left. And
what the heck?
It's a lot of crazy shit, right?
Crazy shit.
And whereas like you drive like over here, like with like the Surrey crowd or something.
Yeah,
and, like,
is it worse than
people
Surrey?
Are very well. They're worse in a different way.
Yeah,
because people are extremely aggressive out here. Where like in Richmond,
100%.
they're quite timid.
Oh yeah. Like if you start fucking around, they'll just dip.
Yeah,
like they're not gonna be aggressive back.
Yeah,
Surrey will just be like,
people are cutting you off in Surrey and shit like that. And Richmond, like people are like extremely timid, like and it like slows you down. So that's the shitty
but they're
part of it.
bad at driving because they're timid because they don't like send it. I get it.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Randy, coming on the
Thank
podcast,
you guys
man.
so much. It was awesome.
No worries,
man.
brother.
Thank
We'll definitely reconnect in the future. Have you as maybe like a 6-month, 8-month background.
Man, I'd love to be back, man.
100%.
This is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
That's
man.
Sick. I can't
Flowing.
wait. Can't wait to
Yeah,
see it.
bro.
I think we had one slow
good.
moment.
Yeah. Flow state.
Yeah. But overall, it was awesome, man. Thank you guys.
Appreciate y'all.
that.
See you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Peace.